One.
Hey everybody, it's Jonathan Sutton. We're doing another live from Studio M session, quarantine style. I'm in my office today, and we get to go down to Nashville, Tennessee to visit with an amazing singer who not only will lift us up spiritually as we're all kind of trapped here in our respective homes, but will give you motivation, I think, for yourself to go for things that maybe you haven't thought of in the past. Before we talk to Avi Kaplan about his music and where he keeps his Grammys, let's hear a song from him first. So Avi, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Let's start off with a song right away.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. And always down to start out with the music. This song is called Aberdeen. It was a single I released a little while back. It's about a place that I used to go when I was a little kid. And yeah, and I'm doing it in a bit of a different way now. So it's a bit of an alternate version, but this is Aberdeen. There is a place that I used to go, given its name by the buffalo. Filled me up and eased my pain, washed my soul without the rain. Oh, Aberdeen, you've been calling me to make my way back home, to that cool summer breeze and those old evergreens, the only place to rest my weary bones. Soon I will go and free my heart to that sage and stone beneath the stars. Clear my mind and float my soul to lay down all my sorrow. Oh, Aberdeen, you've been calling me to make my way back home, to that cool summer breeze and those old evergreens, the only place to rest my weary bones. Ooh. 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 Oh, Aberdeen, you've been calling me to make my way back home.
Avi Kaplan, everybody. Wow. Man, I would love to hear you when you first roll out of bed. Can your voice go any deeper? Wake up in the morning?
Yeah, definitely. Morning is always a good time for me.
Yeah, not for most musicians, but for you. So let's go back. Let's talk a little bit about your history and everything. So let's just start where you grew up in a town in California. Where is it? It's Visalia? Where is that exactly? Am I saying it right?
Yeah,
Visalia?
so Visalia, yeah. Yeah, so it's in between Fresno and Bakersfield. And if you know anything about those two places, it's really in the middle of nowhere. But the way that I always explain it is that it's about 40 minutes away from Sequoia National Park. So that's a pretty great place to be. And I loved growing up there. And yeah, it was a really, really great place to grow up.
And so, I mean, the music scene there, I feel like would be probably not overflowing with tons of musicians and things there, or am I wrong? Where there are a lot of musicians there?
No, no, there wasn't a lot of music out there. In terms of like a live music scene. Um, but the one thing about that area was that there were really, really amazing choral programs. And so the music programs and the choral programs in the schools were unbelievable and still are unbelievable. And so I found myself, um, you know, in one of the choirs and just totally falling in love with music and harmony. And I picked up guitar when I was in, I think, eighth grade, and I started writing my own songs and playing in coffee shops out there. And yeah, so it has its own type of music scene, but not one like LA.
Right. So now I'm curious then when the voice really changed. Was that in high school or in eighth grade? What happened? Tell us a little bit about that when you really got the boom, here I am as a bass. I think we lost you, Avi. Maybe. I don't know. We got a total freeze frame on my end. Am I the only one unfrozen? Oh man.
No, yeah, and we are experiencing some technical difficulties. It looks like he may have been disconnected from us.
Okay. So what do we do then? Do we call?
He's coming back. It looks like.
Okay.
At least on my end, it says that. There he is.
There you are.
I don't know what happened. I'm sorry.
No, dude, it's cool. It's just, I miss actually being in person for situations like that. So I was just asking, did I lose you again? No, are you there?
No, I'm good. Sorry. I'm just very still.
Okay, I'm just doing it to freak everybody out. No, okay.
Right.
Anyway, when did your voice really, like, did you just wake up one morning and suddenly, oh my God, I've got this amazing voice? When did it happen?
It was in between eighth grade year and freshman year of high school. And I remember coming to school, and I didn't really realize that my voice had changed. But then I was talking to people, and people were like, "Why are you talking so weird?" And that's before I kind of learned to not speak in like the lowest register of my voice when I speak to people. I kind of have to speak up here a little bit so people can understand me. But that was before I learned all that. So that's when it happened.
That is awesome. Okay, so let's also with your family, were they super musical at all, or like your mom or your dad or anything, or it was kind of more you? Give us a little on that.
So my mom, well, they both have very good ears. My dad has great rhythm. My mom has a beautiful voice. But neither of them had ever really done anything with music. Both my brother and sister played piano and actually clarinet as well. And they can both sing as well. But no one ever really followed into music. My brother ended up doing that, but yeah, I kind of followed it first for sure.
Okay, so let's fast forward now a little bit to Pentatonics. When you end up with that a cappella group, how did you guys all come together? They found you, you found them. Walk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, so they found me. So I grew up singing in choir, and absolutely fell in love with the art form. Then I went off to college to continue that. And I was an opera major and a choral studies major, but I was also in the college a cappella group there. And the a cappella group that I was in, we ended up winning the ICCA, which is actually the same competition that Pitch Perfect is. And so I kind of made a name for myself in that world. And so actually the next year they were looking for a bass, and so they asked me.
Right, and then did that seem super fast then from being on national TV and then winning Grammys and things, or did it seem like a slow process? A lot of the artists we talk to, they'll say, it took me 10 years to be an overnight sensation. Did it seem like it was slow?
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. I mean, we didn't go from, you know, show to Grammys. We did a lot of work, but it all seemed like a whirlwind, you know, it seemed like a huge whirlwind. And, you know, it took a few years for us to get to that level, but the entire time we were always grinding and going, putting out videos and touring. And, you know, we never stopped. And yeah, so it was a bit of both. It kind of had both feelings at times.
Does everybody get a Grammy? Like, do you have one, or you have to share them? How does that work?
No, we chopped it into 5 pieces. No, I'm just joking. No, we all got our own, and it just is a surreal thing, really insane.
Where do you keep yours?
I don't have a place for them yet. I kind of just started putting furniture in my house, so they're like in storage right now. But once I have everything set where it needs to be, then I'll put them out, most likely.
Yeah, I don't know if you put that in like a prominent place, or you kind of put it like people just come to a party and they all of a sudden see them there, or like, you know, where you should put it. I don't know. In the bathroom.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think that I would put it in a prominent place. I feel like that would feel a little bit weird.
Yeah.
So I would probably just keep it in my room, you know, and if anybody saw it, cool, but not something I'd be like, hey, look, I have a Grammy, you know?
Absolutely. All right, let's hear another song. What do you want to do for us next?
All right. Well, let's do Full Moon. This is off of my most current EP, and it's one of my favorite songs to play now. It's this huge production in the actual album, but I really enjoy playing it with just me and my guitar. It's a song I wrote a little while back, and it's about the beauty of the moon and how I wish it would stick around for a little longer.
Yeah.
Oh, sun sings in the ocean, get way down deep in his bed. He waits, resting his head till day, but until then, full moon, why don't you stay? Full, why don't you stay? Why don't you stay? Full moon, stretching his arms to the sky, he climbs he flies, wondering why he shines only tonight. Only tonight. Fool, why don't you stay? Fool, why don't you stay? Why don't you stay?
Nice. Avi Kaplan. And, you know, I have to enjoy that you've got Mother Nature helping you out there. I hear some birds tweeting in the background, right?
Always.
That is awesome, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is beautiful. Let's talk a
Yeah,
little bit
thank
about
you.
your love of nature. And after you left Pentatonics, you did, I mean, you did some solo work, you made an album, but then you did a lot of adventuring, right? Like literally around the world, hiking in all different kinds of places.
Yeah. Yeah. I you know, when I was in the group, like I said before, we were going nonstop. And, you know, where I grew up, I was always able to just kind of go out in the forest or up into the mountains whenever I wanted to. Even when I was in college. But you know, once I was in the group, I didn't have that opportunity anymore. And I realized what an integral part it was to my life that I kind of had taken for granted on accident, you know? So after I left the group, I really needed to reconnect. I really needed to just get back to myself. And so I went all around California. I went back to the Sequoias and I did like a 3-day camping trip up there, backpacking trip. And then after that, I went up to the eastern side of the Sierras and I hiked up all around those mountain lakes up there by Bishop and Mammoth. And after that, I went to Holland and hiked around their national parks. And then I took a train to Germany and I hiked around the Saxonian Swiss. And then I went to Israel and I hiked all around Ein Gedi by the Dead Sea, up in the northern part of Israel by the Galilee. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was all stuff that I really, really needed to do and really, really need to experience to reconnect with myself. And it was so healing. It was such a beautiful time in my life. And it was really the only time that I'd ever even taken myself on a vacation. It felt like a pilgrimage. It was beautiful. I mean, it really set the stage and the foundation to be able to start creating music again and kind of opening my heart again. And after that, you know, everything really started flowing out. I just started writing and writing and writing. And it was
So
a
you weren't
beautiful
writing,
experience.
were you right? So when you were in all those places, were you writing then at all, or you were just kind of resetting?
I was writing a little bit. I brought my guitar everywhere. But you know, and if the feeling came to me, if the inspiration came, then I would sit down and write. And I did write a few songs while I was out there, but it was much more about just kind of being out there and reconnecting. And even when I would play, it was like, I was like I was playing for what's around me, just like the birds are singing for me. I was singing for them,
Yeah.
So it was that type of experience.
Were you solo or you went with people?
No, it was just me.
Wow. So this quarantine
Yeah.
thing is easy, man. I mean, being by yourself.
Yeah, it's yeah, totally. I mean, it's when I've talked to friends about it, I've just been saying that my life right now isn't so different from how I live in general when I'm not on tour. When I'm not on tour, I come home and I walk in the forest and I stay away from people as much as I can, and it's kind of the same thing. Now I'm forced to, but it's yeah, it's not so different for me, which I'm very, very grateful. I have a lot of gratitude for where I am, and and my ability to be still.
Yeah. Do you run a summer camp? Is that right? Did I read that right? That you have some kind of summer camp that you do?
I do, and we've been running it for 6 years now, and it's one of the things that I'm most proud of, if not the thing that I'm most proud of that I've created in my life. It's for kids are all around the world, and it's a summer camp for high schoolers. And yeah, like I said, kids audition from all around the world, and they come from all around the world. We raise enough money so that everyone can come. They all come together, and it's the vessel is a cappella, but we teach them music theory, we teach them music business, arranging, composing, songwriting. We put them into groups. We have the choir as well. So it's a huge, intensive experience that really creates a family. And to bring these kids all over the world from that are unbelievably talented, it's a really surreal experience to have all those kids.
Is it in California or Nashville, or where is it?
It's actually in California. It's right above Brentwood in LA. It's at Mount St. Mary's College. It's this beautiful campus up in the hills overlooking the city. It's beautiful. It,
Yeah,
it feels like a Hogwarts of acapella. It's awesome.
Yeah, that is cool. So now you and I are both members of the tribe, but I'm curious if you were you bar mitzvahed?
I
Or no?
was.
Yeah. So me too, but I feel like your singing was probably awesome. Like, wasn't everybody blown away when you were?
It was actually really funny. That's my Hebrew teacher was the first person that told me that I could sing. I wasn't in choir at any choir at all in that point. He was like, "Wow, you can really sing." Like he was really excited about it. And I didn't really think anything of it. I just kind of was like, "Oh, sure." Like I enjoy this. This is nice. I love these melodies. That man, some of the melodies are so stunning. But yeah, so it was a lot of fun for me to kind of sing everything.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So the EP is called "I'll Get By." You were planning a tour just like everybody else. It's on hold right now, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, I was only a weekend. So crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, we do have time for one more, Avi. It's a pleasure hanging out with you virtually. Will you do one more for us before you go?
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you want to
I'm gonna
finish with?
keep things in the lower register, and this one's called Chains. It's on I'll Get By as well. And I appreciate you having me out. And for anyone watching, we're all gonna get through this together. And just gotta stay strong, stay positive, and we'll get through it. My mind's ahead with all this pain, and I can't change a thing. Lost in this maze, I can't find a way. I can't break my spirit free. All of these chains weighing down on me, weighing down all of these chains, weighing down on me, weighing down. Yeah, I drift away to a brighter place that I close my eyes to see. Then someday I think that things will change, but I'm losing my belief. All of these chains weighing down me, weighing down. All of these chains weighing down me, weighing down. I'm down on my knees. I need some relief, some quiet and peace. I've been here before, tethered and torn. I won't take any more of these chains weighing down me, weighing down. All of these chains weighing down me, weighing down. All of these chains weighing down me, weighing down. All of these chains weighing down me, weighing down.
Avi Kaplan, thank you so much, man. That was beautiful. Stay safe, and hopefully we'll get to see
Thank you.
in person. Take care of yourself, man.
Same to you. Thanks for having me.
Sure. This is Studio M Quarantine Edition. Thanks to Jesse Guerin, who is our engineer and high-tech heating and air conditioning, for making it possible. Peace, man. Take it easy.